You look so amazing in that sundress. Wonder what you look like when you're undressed. I can see the future in your eyes. You know I would never tell you lies. I just wanna see you smile, so stick around a while, baby. I see your man blowing up your phone, telling you that you need to come home. F that clown, he ain't about a thing. Look, I don't see no engagement ring. You said that he did you dirty, so what's the harm in flirting, baby? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit, he can suck on my dick. I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit, he can suck on my dick. I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? All your friends tell you you need to let go. Seem like he still got your ass in check though. You ain't never cheated on your mans, so why the fuck do he still got your hand? Girl, you could do so much better. He ain't even got no cheddar, baby. He just trying to cuff you like the 5-0. I just wanna see you live your life though. I just wanna see you sing and dance. Don't wanna see you held down by your mans. Tons of men could do you right. Leave that little bitch tonight, baby. Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit, he can suck on my dick. I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit, he can suck on my dick. I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? If I was your man, I would answer every time that you call. I would listen close to every single word when you talk. Every night we won't fight, we just do what you want. Long as I can hold you tight every night in my arms. I just wanna hold you tight, I just wanna keep you warm. Cause your boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit, he can suck on my dick. I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this? Why you home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? Boyfriend's a bitch, he ain't shit, he can suck on my dick. I ain't with all that shit. Why he do you like this when you're home all alone? Why he out fucking around with them hoes? When you're home all alone, why he out fucking around with them hoes?
I'm on mute. I don't understand, bro. Like in my head, I'm gonna listen to you while I play Schedule 1. That's good. It's good you're gonna play Schedule 1 during this. Listen, I don't understand. Love the work, Leon. Oh Jesus, thank you. Your compliments, they hurt my ever waking soul. Your pure comments hurt me. And I just don't understand. Harp. I don't understand. Hi, Karma. All you wonderful people. I don't know if it's just me just living life the best way possible. I don't. But I don't understand how people operate. I just don't. In all facets. More bullshit being spread today. Man. It's like the type of bullshit that got me thinking, is somebody might send me a letter, and I'm gonna just sit there and be like, I'm going about this completely different, probably from everybody else, because I'm not online picking any side. I'm picking the side nobody wants to pick. I'm gonna wait to see what like all the legal representatives say and what goes on after. What's gonna be the end result? Because either way, motherfuckers gonna be mad. But the way people going about it is stupid. And I got a comment under the video. Motherfuckers like, oh, so you pandering. Pandering to who? Pandering to who? Pandering to what? Pandering to how? Change your fucking profile picture, Panda. Change it back to what it was. Because like, how do people like get comfortable sitting around lies and getting mad when you call out a lie? Like, where do y'all get this shit from? How do you look at somebody saying you should not be spreading lies about this shit as if it's true and saying that's wrong, and you look at the motherfucker saying that's wrong and saying pandering? How? Like, logistically, how do you do it? How do you do it with any comfortability? So anyway, a teacher tried to get a kid to kill her husband. Man, I'm getting to a point in my life. Where there was a moment where I truly thought, maybe, just maybe, I could like get some peace, knowing that, you know, things aren't as bad as one would make it out. But nope. Now look, I didn't read the whole article, but we're gonna read the whole article now. But anyone want to take a guess to the skin color? I know that it's all you people fixate on, but anybody want to take a wild guess as to what the skin color of the teacher is that did this? Because, you know, we've been on a streak of it being specifically white women. But, you know, we've been on a streak of when teacher does something, it ends up being white. White, Asian, aqua green is crazy. White, damn, y'all ain't got no faith in them whites. But I'm here today to tell you that the streak is over. The streak is over, boys. The streak's over. The streak is indeed over. It's over. I saw it and I thought, you know what? White woman go brazy. But nope. I can say, and I'm comfortable saying it, I was wrong. I need to have a little bit more faith in them white women, even though, you know, nothing, and I mean nothing. You can give me like the goriest stories about children being violated. Nothing's gonna top the woman who claims she did it because she gained weight. Like nothing's topping that. I'm sorry. You could give me like the goriest stories. You could give me the goriest stories of all time. Nothing, and I mean nothing's topping that, because that was such a biblical moment. That was funny. Like, it was funny, but there's nothing that's gonna beat it. All the stupid things that exist, nothing's gonna beat it. Oh, and I probably should say this now. Hello to like any new person who's been a part of this channel. I know like some of you have been accustomed to me recently over like these past, I'd say, 3 weeks, streaming on occasion on the main channel. But this is where I mainly do it. This is where I mainly get accustomed to streaming. The streams on the main channel are really just a once in a blue moon type deal. This is what we actually do. And we have fun. So if you like that, you know, like the stream or subscribe, whichever one tickles that fancy you got going on. But back to debauchery. Ohio teacher allegedly offered student $2,000 to kill estranged husband in a foiled murder for hire plot. An Ohio substitute teacher was busted for allegedly offering a high school student $2,000 to kill her estranged husband in a bizarre. I don't know why I always like read the title and then like the first paragraph is exactly the same thing. Like, it's exactly the same thing. 2K to kill is wild. I mean, yeah, a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I used to have this teacher she was old. Like, when I say old, that was like the third grade. So she would have been like 50. She had gray hair. She had what I would assume the first time in my life seeing like one big ass. And I was just like, damn. I'm talking about, I'm in the third grade thinking to myself, damn. Or at the time, dang. Because I guess at that time I didn't know these words and I didn't know what they held dear. I didn't know any of these words. I didn't know the words. I didn't know the power that they had, so I just felt deep inside that she had one round ass. Stephanie Demetrius. I gotta be the blackest. You know what? Y'all asked me the other day, what's the blackest name? This gotta be it. Stephanie Demetrius, 44, was arrested Wednesday on first-degree conspiracy after the student's mom discovered texts between her son and the sub at Academy for Urban Scholars High School. I'm gonna read that again. The Academy for Urban Scholars High School. Wouldn't it just be the Academy for Urban Scholars? Why you gotta add the high school part? Discussing the lethal plan and contacted the police. This particular teacher was attempting to groom this young person into committing murder. Without their help, some of this might not have come to light. So, props to the one person who was an adult with the fucking sense to recognize what was going on with their fucking son, the mom. Shout out to all the moms. Well, not all of them. Shout out to all the moms that like hawk their children down to make sure that they're like living all right as they grow up in this world. This was a situation where a parent was able to capture things inside a young person's phone and contact authorities. Police said that the deranged educator approached the student at the Columbus school on March 26 and offered him the cash bounty to kill her soon-to-be ex-husband, giving the teen $250 as a down. Imagine giving somebody $250 as a down payment to kill somebody. Like, you gotta be the nastiest set of individuals. Convincing a child hey, I'm gonna pay you this much money to kill this motherfucker, and just so that you know I'm serious, here's $250 like up front. Except the ones that didn't see the strange man underneath their kid. What are you talking about? This ain't no, exactly, this is not a dealership. The mother of four appeared in Franklin County Municipal Court Thursday morning, where her public defender denied the allegations and blasted the claims as a fabrication. Prosecutor Parker Schwartz said Demetrius exhibited possessive and controlling behavior, citing previous homicidal threats levied against her husband that resulted in him obtaining a protection order. Demetrius is being, so this bitch got a pattern. And she's due back in court in 4 days. Ooh. Brother can barely afford 3 Nintendo Switches. Like, bro, barely? You can't even buy a Nintendo Switch with $250. I don't even think you can get that on layaway. If the fucking Nintendo Switch went on sale, I love how this became the subject matter. If the Nintendo Switch went on sale, you would not be able to get that. You would not be able to get that on sale. So it's like, what bro gonna do with that $250? Like, just sit there? I mean, honestly, that's an obvious outcome. Like, just sit on your money, invest your money. That would be a good thing. You can get 2 dock stations, and you still ain't getting the Switch. There was a guy underneath some kid's bed, and the babysitter found him lying there. The kid said that there was a monster under my bed. I mean, that would be correct. That is a monster under the bed, because what are you doing under there, big time? That's letting me know that you have ill intentions. You're not looking at this scenario and thinking, yeah, this is a good game. This is a good investment. You could get bro, it's the fact that I forgot that thing even existed, and you just reminded me of that. Save up for the Switch with some, I mean, all right, think about this. Let's say he got convinced into doing it. He took the 250 and now he has it in his mind. All right, I'm about to kill somebody and then I'm gonna get $1,000. Then I could get a Switch. I could get a Switch. $1,000. How could I pass it up? But thankfully, a legal smart adult was in the building to stop all of this from happening. Because, money's tight. Money's tight. And the thing about money being tight is a bunch of GoFundMes being made. Oops, wrong button. There's a bunch of GoFundMes getting made. Listen, I'm going to say this with so much energy in my voice. An obscene amount of energy gotta be in my voice for this type of shit. Why are there that many GoFundMes for one guy? I will tell you why. One of them is the actual legitimate GoFundMe. One of them. The rest of them are a bunch of people trying their damnedest. To do what? Get some money. Now, I'm not about to sit here and pretend like a family who don't have enough money to hire a defense attorney. I wouldn't be surprised if they got on GoFundMe and said, please help us. Because unfortunately, for everybody that just wants it to be open and shut, they're going to hope that somebody could help them. They're going to. It's just that simple. It's just that easy. I don't know why when these things come up, everybody wants to act all shocked. Say, how could somebody start a GoFundMe for it? Well, it's their son. And they feel as though their son is being persecuted unfairly. And so they're going to want to fight to keep him out of jail. Duh. I don't know why we're shocked by this. Even with your preconceived notions about it, even with your biases, I don't know why people were shocked. I'm shocked at the 15,000 different GoFundMes that exist. That is what I'm shocked by, because in the midst of people actually doing something to hopefully get their son out of jail, they got motherfuckers that's just trying to make a quick buck. And I don't know I guess this is against their TOS. The legal defense of financial and violent crimes, including those related to money laundering, murder, robbery, assault, battery, sex crimes, or crimes against minors. Ooh. So if that's not allowed, then I don't know how long these GoFundMes are even going to stay up. Even the ones that could be blatant scams, I don't understand how they could actually stay up. The fact that one of them has already been shut down. Yeah, I don't know which one, though. I think it might have been the one that gained the most traction, which is the $13,000 one. Ladarian Dwayne Trump is a crazy-ass fucking name. That's one of them names where I just got to look and be like, is that even real? GoFundMe needs to keep better track. The thing about GoFundMe is they do keep track. But much like most and all websites, you would kind of have to report it in order for it to actually be in the front of their fucking faces. So there's really nothing wrong with GoFundMe's uses. People will still get on GoFundMe and try to start GoFundMes. It is a natural thing that humans do when it comes to money. But if there's alarm bells, it would benefit that if you feel as though something's wrong here, you report the GoFundMe. That way, that gets in front of their faces quicker. But, as it was stated, people are reporting these GoFundMes. Tomorrow morning, I will be emailing the lead prosecutor advising of the large sums of money the defendant is making via donations and providing him with the most current amount through links and screenshots. Why should taxpayers pay for his defense when he's rolling in the dough? No, because they're donating. People are donating money because they want to help. That's why they believe that this kid is not getting a fair shake, so they're giving their money to help him. And you may not like it, but that doesn't stop someone else from just being here's $5. that's exactly like what I can contribute to help you fight this fight. And if you're looking very closely, you'll notice that whoever the fuck this is has the worst bio of all time. Lawyer who loves H2O sports, native Floridian, avid Gator alumna, happily married, will have one heck of a birthday on January 20th. DM love, comma, crypto, comma, porn, exclamation point, American flag. We're not dealing with the brightest subject matter here. And if you also notice, this group is sending out letters threatening legal action if large creators don't remove posts saying that he should be in prison and is evil. They may be representing him, and they are an NPO. Now, here's the thing. First of all, let me just do this really fast, just so that we all know how I feel about the subject matter. I am someone, hi Jai, I am someone, hi Karam, I am someone who chooses his battles and picks his words very wisely. So she makes porn? I have no idea. I don't even want to click her fucking profile to see, because I feel like if I do, the stream's getting taken down. And I just got here, and I'm enjoying my time. I just got here, man. I just got here. What a world we live in. Yeah, it's a pretty good world. It's a pretty good world, man. The world's a beautiful place. It's filled with all the great wonders that one could even imagine and be sad about at the same time because of, the world we live in. I'm not reading anything Joey just said. What Joey just typed is an affront against humanity, and I would say be embarrassed, but Joey, you tend to do your own thing. What did you stumble upon today? I stumbled upon a bunch of people getting sent letters that they might get sued. Which, if I potentially get this letter, you know what you could do? You could just hand me all your money. Give me all your money. Give me all your money. Throw away your light bill. Throw away your insurance bill. Just give me all the money. Just throw away your life. Give me the money. You know what I'm saying? Throw away your life. Throw away that mundane life you don't even want to live in anymore. Just yeah. Just do it all. Don't actually do that. Don't do that. But I'll keep it there anyway, out of anybody's generous soul. Might get sued. Okay, so here's the thing. We're currently talking about these GoFundMes. We're talking about the implications of them. We're talking about all of these. We're talking about this American Freedmen Legal Fund. For some reason, depending on who saying what and how they're saying it, there are letters being printed up and either sent out or being used as public statements to get people to stop talking about this in a certain manner. For example, for today, April 7th, 2025, the American Freedmen Legal Fund issues this formal public statement in response to recent conduct by @lady. You know what? For the fuck of it. 26,000 followers. Okay. With that as the profile picture and the banner. Okay. The American Freedmen Legal Fund issues this formal public statement in response to recent conduct by @LadyLawyer, an individual located in Florida who publicly stated her intent to contact prosecutors in Texas regarding the defense of minor-aged unverified freedmen youth currently facing criminal charges. This action raises serious ethical and logical concerns. 1. Practicing law without jurisdiction. If LadyLawyer is not licensed in Texas, her actions constitute an unauthorized practice of law across state lines, a violation of both Florida and Texas Texas bar rules. Improper third-party interference. Even if licensed, she is not counsel of record and has no standing to influence prosecutorial decisions. This interference amounts to extrajudicial. I lost my spot. I just started laughing. Extrajudicial tampering in an active criminal proceeding. 3, due process threats. Attempting to pressure Texas prosecutors based on social media fundraising distorts the legal process and harms the constitutional rights of the youth. I'm struggling to read right now. Who is presumed innocent and entitled to public defense until proven otherwise. Bar complaint review. The American Freedmen Legal Fund is initiating a review for possible state bar referral, as is the conduct may violate rules of professional responsibility, harassment, and unauthorized representation. We will continue to archive these and similar acts as evidence of coordinated efforts to sabotage the due process rights of freedmen youth. I don't know who's the freedmen youth. Are they talking about Carmelo Anthony? Is he a part of the freedmen youth, or is he just somebody y'all want to help? We demand that this post in question be deleted immediately and that any further contact by this individual with Texas authorities be subject to formal review. We will pursue all appropriate remedies to protect the legal rights of this youth and family from public harassment, unlawful advocacy, and professional misconduct. Well, I hope they, you know what? I'm all for this if they're also fucking running around and making sure that all these claims that wouldn't help Carmelo, they shut them down too. Like, if y'all going about it, like, all across the board, then yes. Like, sure. Have fun. Tickle the fancy. Tickle the absolute fancy. Because it would need to be stated, and we would have to have a deep, and I do mean deep conversation. It needs to be stated that motherfuckers are saying shit for their own benefit and gratification. American Freedmen? I don't know. It's the fucking name of an organization. That's as best as I can fucking tell you. But they're not the only ones who are getting these letters. And I'm here to tell you, in all sense of the word, Carmelo's dad claimed that his son had a 3.7 GPA. 9th grade, 1.3. 10th grade, 1.1. 11th grade, 1.3. First of all, now, I don't know if the curriculum has changed, but if I had any of these GPAs, I'm not even making it to the 9th, 10th, or 11th grade. Second of all, what the fuck does this have to do with anything? Oh, because his dad said he's got a 3.7. You somehow got information from somewhere that confirms throughout 3 years he had a 1.1, a 1.3, and a 1.3? This don't even mean nothing. Like, this don't even mean nothing. This don't even help the case. This not even a debunk of anything. This don't even help Austin Metcalf get justice. Who gives a fuck about his GPA? Like, right. What does this do? See? And I tell you, motherfuckers, this be that shit where motherfuckers fight tooth and nail to, like, tell me something, but then I don't give it no fucking energy. I don't give it no credence. It's like you motherfuckers that said check Carmelo's social media as if that was going to make me say fuck Carmelo. No. It's him holding an airsoft gun. I checked Austin's, and he's got a real gun. So I guess they're both thugs and delinquents, I guess. In like y'all fanatical mind, if that make the most sense. It don't to me, but you know, LOL. This person also got a letter. Now wait a minute. One bad dude. Oh, he's got nearly 260,000 followers on Twitter. This is, and I quote, one bad dude. But he also got a letter. I want to read his letter. His letter, not properly cropped in any capacity. Again, today, the American Freedom Legal Fund issues a statement in response to a recent defamatory post targeting Carmelo Anthony, an unverified freedman youth, for the purpose of mocking and undermining his academic credibility during an active legal case, which I would argue means nothing here. Like, it means nothing. The post falsely publicizes alleged GPA data in an attempt to humiliate a minor and damage the credibility of his family's defense. Regardless of one's opinion on legal proceedings, Carmelo is entitled to the presumption of innocence and the dignity of privacy as a juvenile. Publicizing unverified academic records, especially during a pending case, is a form of reputational violence. The intent of such content is clearly to ridicule, degrade, and delegitimize this young man in the public sphere, which is true. These motherfuckers are like doing a great job trying to like just smear the dude in every which way of form. Hi, Angie. This AI account is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand that motherfuckers are just blindly believing shit. Like, who is sitting? I can't say who. It's a lot of motherfuckers that ran with this shit and thought it was true. It's a lot of motherfuckers that ran with an autopsy and thought it was true. I can no longer be surprised by any of this shit. I was told to get my GPA out of my resume because employers would be offended. Get it out of your resume because that don't matter. You think anyone would do that? Just go on the internet and just lie? Yeah. I no longer can ask these questions of like, why would somebody do this? Why would somebody do that? Why would you choose to do it? It's because people are opportunistic, stupid, and want to lie to spread their own lies. But at the same time, chastise other people for lying. He said he did it. What innocence? So look, he's also claiming self-defense. And that claim will stand until proven otherwise. As much as none of you like it, none of you, and I do mean none of you, are legal experts. So until any form of a witness statement in court that proves a damn, or any shred of evidence that could debunk or legitimize someone's claim, the lawyer's stance of self-defense will hold until proven otherwise. Whether you like it or not. But let's keep reading. We demand the following: permanent removal of the defamatory post within 24 to 72 hours. That's probably not going to happen. A review by X's trust and safety team for violations regarding harassment of minors. That's probably not going to happen, considering what platform you're on. They had to be sued to remove child porn. Accountability for accounts engaged in targeted smear campaigns of American Freedmen youth. The American Freedmen League Fund will continue to document and archive such content in coordination with legal counsel. I feel like we read all that already. I love how one of the replies is, who made you a trustee for Negroes? Buddy, you're black. What are you doing? Can't say these words like this in perpetuity throughout the universe. Freedmen is the beneficiaries of trust I created for them. That's great, but you kind of have to like coordinate that with the parents if you're going to stick up for them. Oh, look, the Officer Tatum got one. Now, I want to hear what the Officer Tatum said first.
This was absolutely horrific. And the biggest question I have is, why are you going to attract me with a knife in a bag?
I mean, that's a legitimate question. Now, there are people making claims of bullying, but again, I pose a question of where the fuck were they bullying him? Like in the neighborhood? Are they the neighborhood bullies? Because they didn't go to the same fucking school. This is a conglomerate of schools meeting at a track meet, which is normal. But what was going on throughout the life of all three of these motherfuckers, because they implying the still alive brother, when the fuck was all this bullying going around?
This video is brought to you by TatumStore.com.
Yo.
Share this video. We need you to hit the like button and share so we can get some momentum going on these videos. Let's get into this. I want to go to the senseless track meet murder.
Tatum thumbnail was eyebrow raising. Oh God. What was the thumbnail? Now I gotta look to see what this damn thumbnail was. I don't know if he changed it. Don't fucking sit here and tell me like he had somebody like hung up by a rope. Oh, and he's made a new video. I think this is in the same time frame. BLM defense burn. I don't think Black Lives Matter has said a word. Like, y'all can't just tie black people to this. You can't tie black people to defending something and be like BLM. Like, where? I don't think that organization will ever say a word. Like, I don't think there will come a time when that type of mindset will actually hold strong. But which is it? Like, this is the video. This is the video. And I'm not about to watch the whole thing again. I might watch this one because it's newer. But I don't think this is a wild thumbnail. Unless he changed it to something else, I don't really think that's a wild thumbnail.
Of Austin Metcalf. Now, let me give you my 2 cents. I honestly believe it is racial. The dad don't think it's racial, which I understand why. That's his son or whatever, and he don't want it to be blown out of proportion.
I think at the end of this, everybody should hold their own opinion. They're going to hold their own opinion. Let me say that. However, I'm going to feel bad for the dad now and when this entire thing ends in court, because that dad, he just got on TV and just said, can y'all not politicize this shit? They calling this man a cuck. They telling him to shut the fuck up. They didn't usurped his plea and started talking about their own different shit. I don't know why we bringing up mass shooting statistics in a story that involve a knife. Still don't understand that. It was a big ask that was never going to be met. It just wasn't. And I just feel bad for that dad.
I do think it's racial.
I also, but it was always going to be racial. Why? The one aspect that mattered. Black kid, white kid. That is always going to make it racial. Whether the black kid's the perpetrator of the victim, whether the white kid is the perpetrator of the victim, it's always going to be racial. I do not care how many people try their damnedest. It will always be racial.
Because when you look at a track meet in Frisco, Texas, I guarantee you that it's more than just one black person out there in that track meet, especially now that these cities are being flooded with new people moving into them. And allegedly this kid.
What? What the fuck does motherfuckers moving to different states got to do with anything? Oh, it's illegal immigration. Never mind.
Kid had already gotten in trouble before for bringing a knife to school. Allegedly, he's not even supposed to be at the track meet. And then how he end up under another tent full of white kids and end up getting.
Representative Crockett, a BLM activist turned Congress critter, did come out in support of Carmelo. So there's a BLM connection here. I would sit here and turn my fucking camera on just so I could look you in the eye and call you retarded. But there is no BLM connection here unless the fucking organization, unless at some point in this video I see like the organization step up and say something. There is no BLM connection here. A motherfucker who's a BLM supporter really don't create no strong ties to BLM, the organization. Are we clear here? Are we clear here?
Get in a conversation where he's stabbing one of them and killing them. Let me give you my 2 cents. I don't know for a fact if this was race, but I do know how, generically speaking, young black men grow up with this sense of animosity towards white people. And I will be quick to argue that one or two things happened. Either he accidentally went under the tent and felt so offended because the white boys were telling him to move from a
Why would the organization say anything? They're sitting comfortably. I mean, fuck. In any moment, motherfucker could step up and be like, we care, and then disappear into the shadows. Time to start WLM. I mean, when are any of these people going to? What? Why is nobody protesting? Why don't you get your ass outside and protest? You could take your ass outside and protest, and it would be great. It would be great if you did. it would mean a whole lot if you did, because if you did, that would prove that, you care and, you value that young man's life. That would make a lot of sense. But because I live in a world where a lot of people don't make sense, we get shit like this. So is it white lives matter or women lives matter? I mean, it could mean anything.
Tent that he don't belong in, and he got mad and stabbed him. Or, this is my opinion,
I heard you were dead, Leon. I'm going to ban you because you keep coming in with like these weird anecdotal statements for no reason.
Or he goes under the tent intentionally to provoke a confrontation, so then he has a reason to stab somebody. Let me tell you why I say that. Why are you at a track meet with a knife in your hand? Why are you at a track meet with a knife in the first place? Okay, let's get to the news clip.
That's probably like the only valid question from anybody that I need answered. Like, why are you there with a knife? What's going on, buddy? You all right? You just waiting? Was it just like a random knife? Like, how motherfuckers just carry knives and they just like flip them all around and shit? Like, how motherfuckers like do tricks with their knives? Like that shit. Because I ain't gonna lie, I carry a knife and do that shit. Like, I just like carry that bitch around and just like do all the tricks with this shit. Bro was ready for his. I mean, he could have been. Or maybe he remembered that he had a knife in an interaction that was getting a little bit too physical. These are all options to think about. None of them fall into the category of, oh my God, did you all know that back in the fucking day that this motherfucker was doing drugs?
Roll it.
Tonight we have new information from the deadly stabbing at a high.
I'm not watching all of this. I just want to read the letter. The American Freedmen Legal Fund is issuing a public statement in direct response to the monetized commentary and inflammatory rhetoric broadcasted by Brandon Tatum concerning the ongoing case involving Carmelo Anthony. Tatum's statements were not only misleading, but laced with unverified claims, speculative accusations, and harmful racial generalizations targeting a minor who is yet to stand trial. I ain't gonna lie, the moving to different areas thing, that was kind of wild. Rather than deliver a responsible commentary, Mr. Tatum chose to exploit the tragedy incident for personal profit, inserting brand promotions, merchandise sales, and sponsorship pitches throughout his video. I mean, he kind of did. This commercial framing of the youth's homicide case undermines the seriousness of the legal process and disrespects both families impacted by the tragedy. Tatum's narrative falsely assigns collective guilt to an entire community, implies racial motivations without verified evidence, and levies damning character judgments on a youth whose legal defense is ongoing. While the American Freedmen Legal Fund respects the rights of free speech, we condemn the use of racial tropes and monetized content that turns a developing criminal matter into a tool for divisive political spectacles. We urge responsible platforms to consider whether content like this, particularly when tied to product sales and misleading claims, meets their standard for public safety, misinformation, and digital harassment. We call for the immediate removal of the video on X and other related platforms. We will continue documenting blah, 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 blah. I mean, he did sit there and add an ad. These freedom people are on a roll. I mean, sure. I mean, they are. Because they feel as though someone is not being given the proper due diligence. And they're fighting tooth and nail to be like, hey, can we wait for the case to go down? Which I kind of understand. And he did add a fucking ad to this thing. He's selling racing shirts with his face on it and I believe a NASCAR driver. What the fuck? All right, let's keep watching to see what they say about this shit.
According to the arrest report, the tragic event began with the suspect sitting under another team's tent as
probably there was a stadium full of witnesses. Buddy, the problem is that those witnesses are going to be potentially called into court. They're going to ask motherfuckers to speak about this shit in court, about what they saw or what they didn't see, down to the finest minute detail. For as much as people want this to be open and shut, it ain't. For as much as motherfuckers are saying, oh, but he stabbed him with a knife. Oh, he just got up and stabbed him with a knife. They have to go through a legal process. And it'll be long and it'll be boring. And they're going to do it because they got to come to a actual conclusion and not whatever fantasies y'all have come up with from anyone online.
Rain fell and being told to move. A witness told police Anthony immediately opened his bag and reached in, telling the victim, "Touch me and see what happens." When the victim pushed him, witnesses say Anthony pulled a knife from the bag and stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. The murder suspect.
See, think about this. They say it was raining, so he went under a tent. The tent clearly, this is the crazy thing. The tent clearly shows the team.
I'm gonna be honest. If it's raining, everybody's getting under something. They're getting under something, or they're gonna leave. And if you don't have like the means to leave, like if your mom brought you, your dad brought you, you drove with a friend and they not ready to leave, or they're participating, or they're nowhere around, you're going to get undercover. Like I don't know why we were sitting here fixating that this was some big mistake from him to avoid the rain, but LOL.
Are a group of people that is not your team, or your group of people. The entitlement that some
and
people
that's
feel.
Another thing. You look at one side of this conversation, the side that's defending Austin Metcalf. They'll say some shit like, Carmelo wasn't on the track team. I don't know if he was on the track team or not. I feel like that would come out in court if he was. I'm not really going to listen to social media's take on that one. I'm going to just wait for what the court got to say. And then on the other side, Austin Metcalf wasn't on the track team. How do you fucking know that? How do you fucking sit here and get that information? I'm going to just wait for the court to fucking talk about this shit. It's at this point where I don't even believe the father or the brother. If they say they was on the fucking track team, I'm going to just wait for the shit to be in court. Because motherfuckers are just going to and fro on these subject matters and not doing the proper thing, which is shutting the fuck up.
Feel is insane.
And because they don't shut the fuck up, I got to talk. And I just want to shut the fuck up and lay my head down. Lay my head on my pillow.
Even if it's raining, nobody owes you anything. Nobody has to allow you to come under their tent. It's raining. Go to somebody else's tent if you're unwelcome. So you don't have a right to be arguing with somebody under their own tent. And then you go into your bag to pull a knife out that you shouldn't have in the first place. You had to track me. Touch me and see. The provocation happened when he's under the tent refusing to leave. That is a provocation to start with. You are provoking them to respond to you. In Arizona, that will be an assault.
I'm not putting my 2 cents in on it because the court will handle it. I wish motherfuckers would do that. No one believes YouTubers when they say, oh, I wasn't going to cover this and I wasn't going to cover it. No one believes YouTubers when they say this shit. Like, and that's a good thing. Do not believe YouTubers when they say this shit. But I really wasn't. I really had no interest in it. Like, a kid died. It's very sad. It is. The reason I talked about it was because the father sat there and said, don't make it racial. And as that left his lips, I'm seeing 15 different fucking posts about crime statistics, about blacks and whites and school shootings. And it's just fuck, man. Fuck, man. This is embarrassing, and motherfuckers will go to and fro to make it all about race and how we need to segregate. And integration was, I saw light-skinned mixed children talking about integration. I ain't never just hang my head so fucking down.
So technically, although they may be the first one to touch him,
The suspect asking if his actions could be self-defense is questionable. No, it's not, because when you're explaining that to the cops and investigators when they're asking you what happens, you're going to want to ask, cops and investigators, hey, when I tell you this story, does it come off as self-defense? Because if you're explaining yourself, especially to the fucking cops, you would want them to fucking verify if what you're saying sounds like self-defense. He could be lying. And he could have lied to the fucking cops and then ask them. But guess what? You know what's funny about that? You and I don't know. The only people who do know are him and Austin. And Austin's dead. So it really don't help his case. But again, that's what the legal process is for. And I'm telling y'all this now. It is April 7th, 2025. I am telling y'all this right now. When we get to the fucking end of all of this, he's either gonna walk scot-free or he going to jail. And if he goes to jail, it's gonna be a bunch of people saying, but what about this and what about that and what about this and what about that and this kangaroo and how dare you? And if he walks, it's gonna be a bunch of people saying, but what about this and what about that and what about this and what about that? And their whatabouts will be a bunch of fluff. It'll be a bunch of sensation that they wanted to gain traction on the social media account that they have. It won't be anything based in fact. It'll be based in a fucking narrative. Like, that is the fucking thing. Either way, one side gonna be mad. Yes. One side will indeed be mad. It all depends on which one it's gonna be. They're gonna be motherfuckers who they're gonna continue talking about. I'm done with this. After tonight, I'm out. Holla at me when motherfucker either gets sentenced or walks. Then I'll be back. They're gonna be motherfuckers who keep this going. And they're gonna talk about this and they're gonna talk about that. And they're gonna talk about this and they're gonna talk about that. And they're gonna talk about this and they're gonna talk about that. And just wait for court. Court's gonna be the ultimate decider. Because none of you, not me, not Tatum, not the next motherfucker we gonna talk about, not the next motherfucker, none of us are lawyers, nor will we be in that courtroom. Unless one of us gets like a letter saying, hey, come do some jury duty. None of us will be in that courtroom. We won't know until the time strikes. And when it does, either prepare to be vindicated for something you're going to forget about 2 months later, or prepare to be disappointed in something you're going to forget about 2 months fucking later.
Behavior, his demeanor, the words he's saying to them is provoking a response. You're under somebody's tent. They say you can't be under the tent. You need to leave. The fact that you're refusing to leave somebody's tent, you're already escalating the situation. And then you tell them, touch me and see what happens. So they cannot remove you from their tent and stand their ground in their tent without you stabbing and killing one of them. That's why he went to jail. Now, because he black, they may let him out. But that's why he went to jail. Roll the clip.
Reportedly.
So why not let every other fucking black person in jail out, buddy? So, like, please excuse my dear Aunt Jemima, but why not let everybody else out who's in jail right now, who just so happen to be black? You know what? I'm going to play his words back again, just so that I'm not taking him out of any type of context.
His behavior, his demeanor, the words he's saying to them is provoking a response. You're under somebody's tent. They say you can't be under the tent. You need to leave. The fact that you're refusing to leave somebody's tent, you're already escalating the situation. And then you tell them, touch me and see what happens. So they cannot remove you from their tent and stand their ground in their tent without you stabbing and killing one of them. That's why he went to jail. Now, because he black, they may let him out. But that's why he went to jail. Roll the clip.
Reportedly.
That's why they went. That's why they let, because he black. So fuck it. Just like, what about all the other black people that's sitting in jail? Like, what's the difference between them? Like, what's the difference between like this black kid and like the thousands of other black people that's in jail all across the fucking country? Anybody want like give me like the quota? Is he got to be like a specific type of black? Like, what is it? What is it? Because in my head, nothing I just heard makes sense. You just sat up here and said, now because he black, they might let him out. And see, that's going to be one of the things motherfuckers say. If he walks, it ain't going to be because they proved he acted in self-defense. It's going to be because he black and Texas has gone woke and the justice system doesn't care about white people. All that shit. It's going to be because, right, it's going to be because of his 3.7 GPA. That's why they let him out.
Asked police on the scene if what happened could be considered self-defense. and asking if the victim was going to be okay.
This is the father of the deceased child. Wrote a
Take
clip.
me through, as far as you know, the events of this morning. What happened? How did you get the call? How did you figure out what happened to your son?
Well, it started with a call from his football coach who was not at the track meet and said, I think Austin has been stabbed. And I said, where at? And he said, Coopendale Stadium. I said, I'm on my way. So I drove up there, went through a load of police officers, and was able to see my son on the gurney with a huge hole and blood all over him, and they were pumping him. He wasn't breathing. His eyes were rolled back in his head. So I had to find his brother. They're twins. And I don't believe it. Bye. For the last time, he carried a 4.0.
That, you know, someone.
Jesus, I need you to react, buddy. I need you to have a reaction.
Boy, I can't. Well, I should have warned y'all. I should have warned y'all about that interview. I almost started crying. I'm a father. Imagine putting your own son in the grave. It's such a tragedy. And
yes, it's a traumatic thing. Like nobody wants to bury their family members. Well, like I had a friend that murdered someone and he was released because he's black. Damn, bro. Like maybe like you could spread like some of your like black voodoo to Carmelo and they could let him out because he's black. Because that's like a crazy fucking thing. Bro. Like what? They gonna let him out because he black? Like fuck. I didn't like did a kickflip off this shit.
that kid who did this,
I'm about to start
his
doing
parents
a
should be
heel
ashamed
toe.
of themselves because you raised a terrible child or a child that made a terrible decision, whichever way you want to call it. And that child took the life of a child that seemed to be promising. You raised him like that. You put that kid in a situation where he thought violence and killing somebody, maybe it was unintentional, but stabbing somebody was the solution to him being wrong. What are y'all teaching your kids? You're wrong. You in somebody's tent. They don't owe you nothing. Get out the tent. You don't stab somebody because you don't like them telling you need to get out their tent. The parents are wrong. I guarantee you if they on the interview, they're going to be saying.
Now look, call me the KKK, but I don't even want to give my fucking opinion. I find it hard to believe that this is like the 13th time I've heard somebody in like the past 2 days say they told him to leave from under the tent and he just got up and stabbed somebody. Like every time I hear a motherfucker say that, my eyes just start to hurt because it's like, it's difficult for me to fucking believe. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it's difficult for me to believe that someone said, move from under our tent, and he was met with a knife to the chest. Something in me says more is in that explanation, and motherfuckers are just drumming it up for dramatic effect.
Saying something stupid and saying it ain't his fault. He didn't mean, he wasn't a bad kid. It was self-defense. It's not self-defense when you carrying a knife somewhere, and when somebody asks you to get out of their stuff, you stab somebody. That's not an equal amount of force. Throw the hands, bro. Why don't you throw the hands? If you so big and bad, you don't want to leave a tent, and the white boys start posturing up.
Another thing. Don't kill him, just throw hands. Just so that it could escalate further anyway. Because nowadays, motherfuckers' masculinity get challenged. They get to doing shit they're not even supposed to be requiring their bodies to fucking do. Maybe it's just because like I got into fights and I didn't see the point in any of them fucking fights. And maybe it's just because I don't like being around people. Like I despise humans. I despise humanity. I don't like being around people. You're going to hear me say it, I think either Wednesday or Thursday, that I go to Walmart at 6 a.m. because that's when I know a lot of people aren't there and I don't want to be around a lot of people. You cannot, you absolutely 1,000,000% can fucking not just get into a brawl and then just walk away. You motherfuckers are going to face a repercussion. Like, who convinced y'all that y'all could just scrap and then that'll be it? This ain't a movie. It's y'all life. And then y'all teenagers. You niggas you nigga and wigger will face a consequence of either being kicked off team, fucking expelled from school. You could still go to jail for getting into a fucking fight and beating a motherfucker to the point. Like, y'all gotta stop living in a fucking movie, bro. fuck people being crazy these days. People was crazy in 2007. That's really fair, Leon. That's because I don't think like shit's a movie. I think like, damn, this is not how shit's supposed to go. And maybe it's because of my own fuck ups in life. But no, this idea that you could just, he's insinuating that y'all could just throw hands and that'll be over with. No, it won't. In some respects, it'll get worse because you throwing hands. But fuck, what do I know?
Throw the hands.
The de-escalation is not an option for some people. For a lot of people. Fuck some. Oh God, I pressed the button and rolled all the way back. Oh, he's playing the clip about I hope he plays it. I want to hear his reaction to the fucking don't make it racial.
He's saying something stupid and saying it ain't his fault. He didn't mean, he wasn't a bad kid. It was self-defense. It's not self-defense when you carrying a knife somewhere and when somebody asks you to get out of their stuff, you stab somebody. That's not an equal amount of force. Throw the hands, bro. Why don't you throw the hands? If you so big and bad, you don't want to leave the tent and the white boys start posturing up, throw the hands. But yet you go in your bag and get a knife to stab somebody. That's premeditated. This is Dad's clip on Fox. It's a shorter clip, I believe. Clip on Fox about him saying he don't believe this is a racial matter. Roll the clip.
I think a lot of people at home are saying, wait a second, how does this happen? He goes to a track meet on Wednesday and is murdered. What happened?
I wish I had all the answers. The answer is my son is gone and he'll never come home again. I want to clarify something right off the start because I've already heard some rumors and gossip. This was not a race thing and this is not a political thing.
Feel bad for this fucking father. If Tatum had any like manhood, he would understand where this father is coming from. I have not watched this, so I don't know what the fuck this dude about to say. I'm hoping he sits up here and says, hey, I understand it. The world is gonna make it racial, but I understand where you coming from. The dad just wants to mourn his son. Yeah, what a cuck. What a cuck. Because that's what I saw. Yeah, the father's a cuck.
Please do not comment.
Leon, you know and I know it's sad that we have been conditioned this way.
If you do not know what happened, do not turn this into a racial thing. It was not. Do not politicize this. It's not.
I saw one fucking comment, and I don't have any problem telling y'all that I deleted it. I saw one comment. Why is the dad on so many news networks so fast? How were they able to get a donation for the funeral out so fast? I just deleted that comment from my fucking video. That was the one I saw. I was like, man, get the fuck off my shit. News organizations are reaching out to somebody about a story that has gone viral. Why would they not? First it was local, then it was national. Because this is Fox News. This isn't like Fox in Fort Worth. And the fucking donation for the funeral, bros, you know how easy it is to make a fucking like a supporter thing? How long did it take for me to put that link in the fucking chat? No time at all. Zero. You can make a GoFundMe like that, and it'll be that fucking simple and that fucking easy. But because motherfuckers live in a world where everything in their life is a fucking conspiracy, from them waking up to jerking off to taking a shit, not everything else a fucking conspiracy. Y'all listen to one man say they turn the frogs gay, and y'all be saying, fuck it.
This is a human being thing. This person made a bad choice.
Come on, Tatum.
And it affected both his family and my family.
Take the
forever.
Leon pill.
It's a very unfortunate thing. But I know exactly what was happening. His brother was there. Who
Take
tried to
the
save
Leon
him.
pill.
He died in his arms. So if you weren't there, please don't spread rumors.
Take the Leon pill, Tatum.
At the top of this, his twin brother tried to save him, couldn't save him. And
No. Fuck this.
Just a
Take the Leon. Say something. There's not 2 minutes. I've skimmed through. There's 2 minutes left. Please.
To where this doesn't happen to someone else.
I agree.
Senseless acts of violence in this world.
I love what the dad had to say, but I think he's reiterating what he said in another interview. But they had a GoFundMe. And do we have the GoFundMe prepared? If we
He didn't say a word about it. Come on, Tatum.
don't, we'll put it in another video. Yeah, we'll put their GoFundMe link somewhere in here. Just wait. We'll make this into another video. Y'all know we go live now and then we'll reproduce the video later. So if you see it on the video later, you can go find the GoFundMe. If you guys want to support, I think we may give some money to this. And it's sad, man, because I couldn't imagine losing my son. Not like that. And I couldn't imagine losing my son, but then also having to deal with my son that's alive, witness his brother die in his arms. So not only you got to deal with losing your son, but also you got to be there for your son that lost his best friend, that ain't never coming back. That the thing is about death, no matter what you do, no matter how much you scream, how much you cry, how much you pray, they ain't never coming back. Your whole
Damn, bro. You telling this to like the 5 people in your audience that never watched the Disney movie? Because if you watch the Disney movie, you understand death.
life is gonna forever be without that person. It ain't never coming back. You can never get them. Their soul is gone. You ain't
They may give some money to it. Yeah. Don't give money to the funeral cause. Give money to me.
never coming back.
Pinned link in the comment. I'm just playing.
And it's a very, very sad situation. Although the dad says it's not political, I want to respect his request.
Huh?
Oh, it's gone. You ain't never coming back. And it's a very, very sad situation. Although the dad says it's not political, I want to respect his request to try not to make it political or try not to make it racial. I do think there's some components to underlying issues.
Oh, God damn it. God damn it.
Of race relations.
It just stopped and he just said, fuck. It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as bad. And it's the end of the video. It wasn't as bad and it wasn't the end of the video. Oh, what's this? Please mass report this and have them take it down. Oh, this is so they took at one point they took down the GoFundMe, but GoFundMe is not the only place where you could receive donations for doing this. GoFundMe is not the only place where you could just like donate to something. So they have a Give, Send, Go. And I believe Give, Send, Go came out with a statement saying, y'all not taking this down. We're keeping this up. So credit to Give, Fund, Go. My name is Seth with the Give, Send, Go customer support team, and I'd be happy to help. To keep things simple and ensure we don't miss any details, let's stick to this email thread for all updates about your request. Thank you for reaching out, because I guess they like had their own chain. Thanks for reaching out and sharing this important information with us, including the attached letter and the link to the social media activity. We understand your concern regarding the coordinated online attacks directed at the Help Carmelo Official Fund campaign. Please know that the Give, Send, Go is committed to protecting the right of individuals to fundraise, especially in the face of targeted efforts to shut them down. As long as the campaign remains in compliance with our terms of use and platform guidelines, we will continue to support and protect the organizers' right to raise funds. We are reviewing the information you provided and will take any necessary steps to ensure the campaign is not wrongfully affected by outside harassment and false claims. So at least on their front, now I don't know Give, Send, Go's terms of service and how they choose to operate, and I don't know if I could find it, and I don't have it on me, so seems like they are like, we don't necessarily care about what people are saying online. This is in compliance with our Give, Send, Go campaign rules and all that shit. So they're going to keep it up. And more props to them. Which is interesting, because the thing about like all the people who are like throwing their arms in the air and saying, how dare people raise money for this, is that the more they talk about it, the more money goes to it. At one point, this was at 100K. And the goal was 150, so they keep upping the price. Which would create a little concern for me, because how are you going to have the goal at 150 at one point and then up it to 300? That creates an eyebrow raise for me, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing I could necessarily do about it. But I wonder if there was someone out there that can create like this, I guess you could consider it big uproar, that funds are being raised in the defense of someone put in jail. Chat, do you have anyone who could think of that great idea? Do you know someone who could fit that category of making an uproar about people getting money? The upping the goal is sus as hell. It's not enough for me to fucking go on this great rampage. But do any of you know someone I know someone. Well, technically 2 people, because I noticed he's uploaded this video. You know what? Let's just watch this one first.
People don't feel as if
Let's watch this one first before we go to like the one that like sparked my interest. This is not the one I was talking about, but you know, since it's there and we said that we were gonna watch this new one, why not watch it?
right what they're doing to this young black man right here.
If there's any human being in the United States of America that deserves presumption of innocence right now today, it has to be Carmelo Anthony.
For them to raise $150,000 for this kid, it's insane to me. And what it speaks to, in my opinion, is the racism that's involved in this.
Damn it! Fuck the dad's wishes. 24 seconds into a 17-minute video. Fuck the dad's wishes.
Because if that young black boy would have killed another black boy at track meet, we wouldn't hear about it. There would be no GoFundMe. There would be no, oh, we need to stand with him. It's because he killed a white kid. And it's a race war underneath the surface of our country.
It's a race war underneath the surface of our country. And you know what? Nope.
We projected by black people.
The first video was the cliffhanger. The next steps.
Hey, y'all, we all know this, but I'm going to remind you. The American dream is under attack.
No. Right
here.
I don't give a fuck. Your American dream is under attack. Your American dream is always under attack every fucking year. The American dream is under attack.
Keep advocating, keep doing y'all lives, keep reposting, and keep doing what y'all doing. This baby is gonna come home no matter what, and he's gonna have the best legal team to get him home safely as well. They trying to get this boy under the jail, destroying his reputation and everything, trying to make it seem like he a thug. This child is a 3.7 GPA student, has 21 football scholarships and everything. He had friends and family all.
I mean, at least I know where they got the 3.7 thing from. They got it from the dad. I don't know where anybody got this 1.1 shit from.
This boy had something to lose.
I'm telling y'all, it's the greatest fuck you. It's the greatest fuck you this year so far. Man asked to not make this racial and political. These niggas said, fuck no, let's have a ball.
Learn to keep your hands to yourself.
At least when I made my video, I was just like, I can't. Well, I don't know how I came across to you motherfuckers. I knew my intention. My intention was to sit there and be like, I know you want people to do this, but the world said, fuck you, bro.
You want FAFO, period.
If there's any human being in the United States of America that deserves presumption of innocence right now today, it has.
Yeah, we all know that was gonna happen. But you know, it's good in life to have just like a little bit of hope. Just like a little bit.
To be Carmelo Anthony. Hands down. He was attacked. They were more than him. And his witnesses on their side, plus his brother saying that happened. How's that self-defense? All right? And then proportional.
Why is the kid a hero? I have no fucking clue what you mean by that. I'm not going to sit here and say no one's called this motherfucker a hero, because probably somebody has. But I don't think he's a hero. I think he's a teenager.
Use of force. It wasn't a multiple Pokemon. It was a singular Pokemon, and he ran.
It's 2 men, 200 or more pounds over you. 2 of them come and mess with you, and you're trying to defend yourself. What are you going to do? You're going to do what Carmelo did. As of right now, the media is trying to do everything in their power to make him seem like he's an evil person. Y'all did not see this man repeatedly. That's my thoughts on this.
Let me show you very clearly why I think this is a problem and why this is a racial issue. If you don't know what I'm talking about the incident that happened at the track meet. Carmelo Anthony with a K decided that he was going to stab a kid in a conflict under a tent. There's a few things that we need to talk about here. One, I can legally almost represent this case and show you that Carmelo.
No, you cannot. You are not a legal representative. You are not even legal counsel. You cannot be allowed in the courtroom and testify unless you were a fucking witness. And much like you are not.
Anthony will be found guilty. It has nothing to do with his skin color, as far as I'm concerned, because I do not care. I'm black, and I got my family white.
Help. People, help me. Help. I'm about to stroke out. This is the same man who said, if he walks, it's because he black. I got
black and white sides. I don't give a flying flip. What I care about is justice. What I care about is right. What I care about is the law. And for them to raise $150,000 for this kid.
You care about the law? Nigga, we just heard you 10 minutes ago. If he walk, he black. What law do you care about?
It's insane to me. And what it speaks to, in my opinion, is the racism that's involved in this. Because if that young black boy would have killed another black boy at the track meet, we wouldn't hear about it. There would be no GoFundMe. There would be no, oh, we need to stand with him. It's because he killed a white kid. And it's a race war underneath the surface of our country, mostly projected by black people against white folks. So when a black...
you can't say a race war is mostly projected by black people when history dictates the white people have had their substantial fun in this race war too. You just can't. You just can't. You just can't. This race war has been a fun little battle. You know, we had the KKK, we had the Black Panthers. Like, you know, everybody got their group intended on what it is they intended for.
Black kid do something wrong. Black people rally around the kid that did something wrong.
Feels like you two need to talk. I don't do online conversations anymore. Unless you're like a friend of mine. I don't do pointless back and forth. I don't. They're not fun. They're not interesting. They're not entertaining. They do nothing for me. That's why when anyone's like, I disagree with you, come debate me about it. No. You can call me a pussy. You can call me scary. You can say whatever you want. At the end of the day, I can turn off my phone and none of you people exist. Because as soon, I'm telling y'all this so fast, as soon as I turn this stream off, I forget you people even exist. You know why? Because I got some fat ass pancakes I can make that I could just forget the world. I made some fucking pancakes yesterday. Them bitches was ginormous. Those were man cakes. Cooking video coming soon. Leon doesn't love us. I respect and am grateful for the fact that people bother to watch me on any given day. Matter of fact, there's 79 of you in here right now. I'm grateful for the fact that 79 of you decided, hey, I'm going to come watch this live stream. But I will not let you motherfuckers affect my day off of a live stream. It will not happen. No. I will not allow it. I have too much fun in my day to allow it. You have no... Well, I don't respect Harley Quinn Polka because you're my enemy. You're the enemy of the Leon Nation, and you should always be embarrassed. You should be ashamed of yourself. You are hated amongst the world. Oh, so you hate waffles now? Gara, when you know what, Gara? You know what? Never mind. Because I don't want to give you my Steam so that we could play Repo. I don't want to give you my Steam. Even though I probably should. But I don't want to. So look, I feel like this is a safe space. So can I put somebody on blast? Well, not really on blast because I'm not going to say who. And it's no one you know. It's not Peachy. It's not Gothic. It's not none of these people. It's none of these people. Whoever it was that DM'd me the other day asking to speak to me and they were willing to pay me $60. If you're in here and you know who you are, you don't have to out yourself. Go to therapy. That is my free advice to you. That is my free advice to you. Go to therapy. Seeking counsel from a YouTuber gotta be one of the dumbest things you could ever do. And I don't want your money. I feel like I don't know you, but please just I hope you got some therapy. I hope you got some counsel. I hope you got some friends. Because I had to sit here and I'm like, wait a minute. This motherfucker might hack me in some capacity. I'm like, man, no. Leon isn't cheap. 60 isn't enough. Yeah, that's why you should all ignore your light bill. Ignore your mortgage. Ignore your rent. Ignore your child's field trip. The pinned comment is a link where you could give me money directly. A super chat? Huck, I spit at that. I want you all to go broken. Never mind. I want you all to no longer be able to live because you all gave your money to me. And if you take me serious, you a dumb motherfucker. You a dumb motherfucker, and I got a house to sell you. and it got all the pristine things, and all it'll take is you signing on a dotted line right here, and your life is mine, bitch.
Because they don't want the white boy to be right. They don't want white people to be right. They don't want white people to be on television saying that this black kid is a thug. They don't care that the black kid, I mean, I think that some of them do care, but I think that they're avoiding the point that the black kid actually took the life of somebody unnecessarily. Let me give you a couple factors here, which will bolster the legal argument that I have. I do believe that Carmelo Anthony will be found guilty if he goes to court.
I'd like to speak to you, but I can only offer $30. Not enough. $3 million is my asking. This is the thing. I'm not opposed to like people disagreeing with me. This much child support goes to Leon is crazy. Everyone should be like, if you have, well, everyone can't, never mind. If you were rich, if you're rich, if you have like a lot of money right now, and I'm talking like millions, I'm gonna say like you average like 20 million a year. Be like Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards got a baby mama who wanted child support. And Anthony Edwards did not want to keep coming back to court. He asked the fucking judge how much in total and paid it and left. If you loaded with money, be like Anthony Edwards. You don't want to deal with a fucking headache. Just pay it all in full and dip.
I think he's going to do a plea deal because he knows he's dead to rights. His attorneys know he's dead to rights. According to Texas State Penal Code, he will go to jail and be sentenced probably more harshly than he would if he do a plea deal. I think he's going to do a plea deal.
Oh, wait, I didn't finish what I was saying. You all distracted me. See, on this channel, I get sidetracked and, you know, I go on my little 1 to 20 minute rants about shit. If you like that, you can like the stream. You could like the stream. I'm not opposed to people disagreeing with me about shit when it's based in merit. If you fucking disagree with me and you tell me watch a Tim Pool video, I immediately just don't respect anything you have to say because you don't have anything to say. You want somebody else to say it for you. It's these people who just they don't want to have the conversation. And that's all online debates, quote unquote conversation. That's why you only see me around people who I'm cordial with. Because anything else is fucking annoying and a waste of my fucking time. And I walk away from it thinking, that was pointless. I got nothing out of it. And if that's my thought process leaving something, I don't want to do it again.
And I think in the plea deal, they're going to give him manslaughter charges, and he's only going to do 5 or 8 years in prison, which is a travesty. If he goes to trial, this is how he loses, unequivocally. In the state of Texas, they charged him with first-degree murder. First-degree murder is when you murder somebody, intentionally or knowingly causing the death of another person. That's subsection 1. Subsection 2 is intending to cause serious bodily injury and commit an act clearly dangerous to human life that results in somebody's death. They got him on the first statute because he knowingly and intentionally decided to poke the boy in the heart with a knife. The second statutory claim here, which they can get him on as well, is intending to cause serious bodily injury. If you didn't intend to kill the guy, but you should know that stabbing somebody in the heart could cause serious damage, serious bodily injury to that person, and it's clearly negligent and it's dangerous to human life. They got him again. Here's another one. Commit or attempt to commit a felony other than manslaughter.
Gara, you fucking Jew. Give me your fucking Steam so we can play Repo. Quit the foreplay.
In which they perform an act clearly dangerous to human life that causes death. Let me add to how that's a problem. Because carrying a weapon on a school campus is a felony offense.
I don't see him getting first degree. I need y'all to remember that Tatum is the same man who said, yeah, you may have killed your wife, but she cheated on you and she didn't stop talking when you told her to stop talking. I need y'all to remember, this is the same guy who said, hey, I could be legal counsel here.
No, it's a misdemeanor offense. Let's go down to the law because I want y'all to see this very clearly. If you go down to Texas law, it says that it's a knife blade exception, right? If it's 55 inches or shorter, generally speaking, it can be used or be on in a public place. However, there is restrictions as to where this can be presented. It says right here, let me go up a little bit. I'll go down here. It says violating these restrictions can lead to criminal charges with penalties varying based on specific circumstances and locations. For instance, carrying a local restricted knife is prohibited in areas generally considered a Class C misdemeanor. And these areas are obviously in sporting events, right? It says carrying a knife regardless of blade length. Here's the caveat here. Carrying a knife, any knife, regardless of blade length, at a school sporting function in Texas is generally prohibited unless you have an explicit authorization to do so.
Didn't Tatum also deny a school shooting? I think you might mean Alex Jones. I don't know if Tatum denied a school shooting. I think you're talking about Alex Jones.
So not only was he already committing a crime by having a knife at a school sporting event, he knowingly and intentionally struck the kid, whether he tried to kill him or not, it's still under the grounds of first degree murder, or they can clarify for second degree murder. So it's either one of the two that they're going to have him under. But here's where the defense is going to argue. The defense is going to argue that he was acting in self-defense. Now, here's where the self-defense claim falls apart. In the state of Texas, and probably most places, that your self-defense claim is completely eliminated if you are provoking somebody, right? You can't claim self-defense after provocation. So that means that if I'm going somewhere and I'm like, what's up, bro? Come on, fight. I'll fight all of y'all. I didn't went up to somebody, provoking them to a physical altercation. They beat me up, and then I pull a gun and shoot them. Well, you can't call for self-defense if you provoke somebody to engage with you. And his own admission of saying, touch me and see what happens. Going under somebody's tent that don't belong to you, that you're not associated with, refusing to leave, and then threatening and saying, touch me. That means that you cannot lawfully remove me because I'm going to do something to you. So touch me.
Now, we could say what we want about Tatum, but he's creating a fair point. I would not let him be my legal representative, but he is creating a fair point.
And see what happens. It's a provocation for them to engage with him, and therefore he then presents a knife and stabs him. So I'll just read here the statute where it says, or at least the articulation of section 9.31, it says a person is justified in using force against another person when they reasonably believe that it is eminently necessary to protect themselves from others using attempted use of unlawful force. However, this justification does not apply if a person provokes the use of unlawful force, was engaged in a criminal activity other than a Class C misdemeanor that is a violation of the law or ordinance regulating traffic, which is the regulating traffic part is not.
Bro, they turn the frogs black, we're doomed.
Exact force used.
They're all going to die if they...
Which don't apply here. It's the provocation section, provoking the use of unlawful force. Let me sum it up for you. The prosecution is going to argue that he had no business being in the tent.
Oh, God. I just skipped into this section. The father forgives, but the family disagrees. Now, to my fucking knowledge, the only people I've seen speak about this are the father, the brother, and the mother.
Then it should be. But he's wrong in the sense of trying.
Oh, God.
But he's going to go to jail. And let me just add this. I want to play a clip of the father because this is another part of this incident that I think is a tragedy. Because white...
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
I'm afraid about what I'm about to listen to.
People, y'all...
It's a public cry to white people.
I want to play a clip of the father because this is another part of this incident that I think is a tragedy. Because white people, y'all need to stop doing this. You're not going to get the sympathy of black people. A lot of black people hate you to the core, and they don't care what you say. They hate you and want you to be destroyed, and they hate most white people. So you...
I'm going to do you one better. Parents, I understand the fear you have of letting your child go out into public, essentially unsupervised. There's the fear that your child may not come back to you, whether it be going to a party, going to the mall, going to the store, going to school. I understand that. And I understand the pain and the suffering of finding out that your child is no longer on this earth. I will never be able to live it because I'm not a parent. Maybe one day, which is very unfortunate for me to say, I don't want to have a child brought into this world and then he's taken out and then I have to like feel that. I can sympathize with somebody grieving. You can be angry or you could walk your path. You can. Don't let no one else tell you how to grieve. That goes for anything. Like whatever you fucking feeling. Like you people watching are human fucking beings. You get happy, you get sad, you get angry, you get depressed. Don't let a motherfucker devalue your feelings. Don't do it. If you are like pouring your heart out about something and somebody tells you get over it, this might be the worst advice I give you. Kick them in the fucking face. And then while they sit there holding their nose and they getting ready to swing on you because they so mad, tell them to get over it. And see what their fucking reaction would be. I am willing to guarantee you they're not going to get over it. I'm willing to make that guarantee.
You getting on here trying to play the unity train is not going to work. And I understand why dad did this because he don't want the trauma on his heart of making his son's death a bigger issue than it should be. But he's wrong in the sense of trying to act like this is not a racial thing. Roll the clip.
It's very unfortunate that this other child decided to make a bad choice that's going to affect him for the rest of his life. I have compassion for every human being. This is not, I want to make this very clear. This is not a race issue. This is not a black and white issue. I don't want someone stepping up on a soapbox trying to politicize this.
Ding, 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 ding.
Don't appreciate some of the remarks I've seen online that people say there was this fight and they don't know. They weren't there.
All right. I respect that. He lost his son. I get it. His mind is cloudy right now.
But it's always that fucking word. It's always that fucking word. It's always that fucking word. It's always that word. It's always that word. I think we should respect the dad's wishes. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
The mother and son disagreed. But let me tell you my side.
If I sit here and listen to these two people say, fuck it, let's make it racial, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Before I play them. Is 100% a race thing. I said this at the beginning of the show. If there was two black kids, nobody would be talking about it. There would be no GoFundMe. If it was the roles reversed and the white kid stabbed the black kid, it'd be hell. And in this situation,
hell.
Black people are coming out defending the black kid because of the sake of him being black versus a white person, because they cannot justify what he did. Roll the clip.
I heard your husband say within hours of this that he forgave this other young man, and he got there so quickly. And I honestly don't know that I could. And I just want to see, I don't know if there's a right or a wrong place to be, especially as quickly as this has happened. Megan, how do you feel on that front today?
I am not like their dad. I am so angry at that boy. It's just not fair. That's all I have.
I understand.
All I'd like to say is it's forgave, not forgotten, but I'm not at that point yet to forgive that kid what he did to my brother. Because, 17 years.
Hold on, what did he say? I said I have this at a really fast speed for a normal adolescent youth.
Just not fair. That's all I have.
I understand.
All I'd like to say is it's forgave, not forgotten, but I'm not at that point yet to forgive that kid what he did to my brother. Because, 17 years, my best friend, just there in the blink of an eye, I lost him. So I'm not at that point.
So they pretty much said they're not at that point of forgiveness. God has called us to forgive.
Oh, Lord. Here we go. Y'all Lord and Savior is being brought into the conversation now.
It's a struggle, though. Somebody were to do something to my family, I don't know if I can say I forgive them. I don't know if in my heart I can forgive them. It took me years to forgive myself for things I've done. So forgiving somebody else will be very difficult.
The day after your kid gets a knife in the heart, you're talking about forgiveness. F that noise. You're mad at a dad because he has more forgiveness in his heart in a situation that is traumatizing to him than you do. I can truly say I've seen it all now. I could truly say I've seen it all. A motherfucker could give his honest truth about how he feel around some fucking situation, even if it's one of the worst things that could happen. He's in shock or a bad dad. See you, bye, bro. I'm gonna chuck up the. You can't see it because I don't have the camera on. I'm chucking up the deuces for you, bro. Y'all want these motherfuckers to be Batman? But I check up the deuces for you, bro. I check up the deuces for you, bro. Batman sucks anyway? Yeah, sure.
But I do think this is a race thing, and I think people need to stop trying to play nice guy and call it for what it is. I don't think it's helpful when white people try to be like, oh, we don't want to. They want problems with you though. They won't smoke.
Buddy, you heard him say, please don't politicize it. Don't make it a race thing. And you're making an open call to white people that black people don't like them. You are admonishing a father who has a stronger faith and a stronger walk and stride in that walk with God to forgive that fucking kid for killing his kid. You, the dumb fuck I just got out of my chat, are admonishing that man for honestly having bigger balls than you. Like, what are we doing?
With you, they raised $200,000 or something for this boy that killed a white kid, and by all measures, he was wrong. All you have to do is.
So you should respond by helping, galvanizing, and throwing a little bit of your money at the kid's funeral, at Austin Metcalf's funeral. You do that, y'all raise $200,000 for the funeral and for the family, then congratulations.
Just look up the law. He's wrong. You're under somebody's tent, which you shouldn't have been, right? They could have compassion and let you sit under their tent when it's raining. They could. They don't have to. They ask you to leave. You refuse to leave. Then you say, touch me and see what happened to you. Therefore, he's planning to use deadly force against kids under the tent where it's raining at. And I guess they pushed him out of the tent, grabbed his backpack or something, and then he stabbed somebody in the heart. Anybody, unless you're looking for money and fame and you're a racist, wouldn't jump on the bandwagon and saying, I'm going to put money for a kid that killed another kid. Unless you're saying he's guilty, but I want to help his family because people make mistakes. If you're saying that, I disagree with it. I won't do it, but I see why a person would. But if you're not pushing any of those messages, you're just acting off of racial tribalism. Same thing happened at that Mississippi brawl or Montgomery brawl. You're going to know.
No. That Montgomery brawl, and they did what you wanted. They fought it out. Now, motherfucker threw a chair, but they also fought it out. So which is it? Do you want motherfuckers to fight? Or do you want a race war? Like, you gonna have to pick one.
How black people really feel about you when some racial happened. When the Montgomery brawl happened, you see black people wearing shirts with, that man hit that woman with a chair. And she wasn't.
And they were. And I'm gonna ask this with such fucking fervor. A man, you mad at motherfuckers wearing merch over an event? Buddy, you got Trump on your fucking shirt right now. So, like, which is it? And again, the Montgomery brawl, way different from this shit.
Even an aggressive person. She was walking on and hit her with a chair. If white people were out here hitting black women with chairs, it wouldn't be funny. But when black people do it, it's funny.
That's debatable.
To them, it became tribal. Oh, look at all these white folks, man.
Because I'm telling y'all this right now. Did I or did I not laugh at that interview of that lady getting punched for talking about abortion? Gave that bitch 2-piece, no side, no drink. And guess what? I'm still sitting here and say that bitch that punched her is in the wrong.
And look at white folk think, look, my boy was swimming and doing all this. When there's this incident at the track meet, check in on your friends that you think you're real friends. And they're gonna start getting tribal. Oh, but the black kid it was self-defense. What was it? Would you be claiming the same argument? If the kid was white that stabbed a black kid under a tent he didn't belong under? We know the answer to that.
I still hold like the more drastic opinion. Nobody would have gave a fuck if this didn't like gain traction on social media. Cause I shit you not, you turn on your local news, you gonna find out somebody dead. Somebody somewhere is dead. That's the sick part. That's like my sick part of this. And again, buddy, you can't be complaining about motherfuckers' merch. Look what you selling. You used the video to sell merch. Twice in a video. But did any of you in the time spent like watching this, did any of you figure out who I was talking about? Did any of you figure out who I was talking about? No? Well, here's your answer. Here's your answer. Leon would be the only one who still talked about it if the races were switched. No, but then I'd be a coon. I'd be a coon. Why do that? I'd be a coon. White people can't talk about black stories because they're not black and they don't live that experience. And the black people can't talk about black stories because you coon it. So who else is left? The Mexicans? They all got deported. Oh, go to hell. I'm going to hell one day. One day I'm going to hell. But it won't be today.
Well, people were pretty irritated to see this weekend that GoFundMe was allowing multiple fundraisers for the individual that thought, they needed to be armed at a high school track meet and took the life of a God-fearing 4.0 student athlete over an argument over a seat People are pretty mad this weekend as hundreds of thousands of dollars were pouring into GoFundMes for this student because apparently they're pushing this weird narrative that it was self-defense. It's absolutely insane to me that anyone would think that this would be self-defense. It's also absolutely insane to me that GoFundMe would even consider allowing this. Now, they have responded, which we're going to take a look at. Let's get into the video. Remember, Meta PC's tariff craziness.
Tariff craziness? Bitch, I thought you loved tariffs. I don't want to hear any of that shit from you. Shut up.
Of Texas teenager accused of destroying another child's life raised more than $80,000 for his...
We're in hell now? Buddy, we've been in hell.
Defense. In fact, it's $150,000 now. Online fundraiser for Texas track meet stabbing suspect nears $150,000. Family of Texas suspect simply says that it's a narrative being spread false, unjust, and that it's harmful. So at first I was thinking, is this, like, are trolls doing this? Is this really, you know, a real fundraiser from the actual family? It actually looks like it is. And yikes. An online fundraiser for Carmelo Anthony, the Texas high school student who took the life of another over sitting in the wrong seat. Quote, their narrative being spread is false, unjust, and harmful. The Anthony family said in a statement on the crowdfunding platform GoFundMe, as a family of faith, we are deeply grateful for all of your support during this trying period. Your prayers and assistance mean more to us now than ever. The fund called Help Carmelo Anthony Official Fund was set up to support Carmelo and his family during this challenging and difficult time. The amount raised is $144,800 with a goal being set of $200,000.
Tara's been biting them in the ass. I mean, listen, if you listen to some of them, they'll say it's a good thing as they have like basic ass, not, what's the word, drop shipping companies where a lot of the shit that they use does not come from, you know, America. So, you know, they're going to be paying that fucking extra. Who said that?
Isn't it nice to, you know, get rich off taking somebody's life? Must be nice.
It must be nice to fucking have $300,000 of debt.
Of course, the boys were competing at the State's University Interscholastic League District. He's currently being held in Collins County Jail on $1 million bond, an amount that his attorney is asking the court to reduce. I know that my client said it was self-defense. I don't have any reason to disbelieve that, but I need to develop facts. I need to talk with people on what's going on before I make any statements about what happened. Attorney Derek Walpole said, who was hired by the family. I don't have any reason to think it wasn't self-defense. Well, I mean, it's pretty clearly not self-defense. He said,
I need y'all to understand before I press play and he says anything, I need y'all to understand who said that. It's the fucking attorney who has to peer through all of the available information to help his client. And while you may not like it, self-defense is a part of that. And they're going to comb through every possible thing under the sun to attempt to get this motherfucker to go home. That is the most introductory level law 101 I could give you, because anything else you would have to go to college for.
That make me move and see what happens. He was threatening them. I don't really, this is not even up for refute. Anthony told the police that he did do it, but says Metcalf put his hands on him first. Okay, so the latest comments from donors on the Give, Send, Go platform express support for Anthony.
This motherfucker's paid to be biased, me or him? Because I'm paid to just sit here and be me.
Self-defense in your stand.
I know you mean the quartering. I just have to be cantankerous.
Stand your state ground is this young man did nothing wrong. GoFundMe actually pulled it. GoFundMe has pulled it, but Give, Send, Go, let me see this. Give, Send, Go seems to have...
Why not have all of this shit like tabbed up? That way you don't have to type it.
Allowed it? Has allowed
Fuck,
it.
I'm nitpicking.
Give, Send, Go, which is where, you know, Kyle Rittenhouse, for example, went, to raise his funds after GoFundMe allowed it. This is shocking to me.
Wait. So GoFundMe took away Kyle Rittenhouse's campaign. They also took away Carmelo's campaign. Give, Send, Go allowed Kyle Rittenhouse's campaign. And now we have a problem that Carmelo has a campaign? Come on.
Nearly $200,000 raised for a murderer. This is, I mean, unless there's something that, I mean, again, I am open to being swayed. Were these two brothers attempting to use...
You are not open to being swayed. If that motherfucker walks, you gonna be one of the first people crying kangaroo court. I don't have any faith that you would sit there and be like, you know what? They proved to us that, you know, he acted in self-defense. You're describing me, and you not me.
Deadly force on this kid. Will there be more that comes out? But the fact that he has now raised $165,000 is actually bonkers. Do I want Give, Send, Go to take this down? I guess not. He is accused of the same thing that Kyle Rittenhouse was accused of.
Oh my God, he's having conflicting interest because he knows if he has a direct stance, people are going to be like, wait, dickhead, what did you say about this? Ooh, you see what happens when you fuckers pick sides? You're going to have to be consistent for life. Instead of just waiting to see if it all lines up. No, I'm going to have my stances now. I'm going to have my stances now because now is the time.
And Give Send Go stood next to him and said, you know, we're going to allow you to fundraise on our platform. You know, I just 200 grand self-defense. I mean, there is absolutely no evidence that this was self-defense. Now, GoFundMe had banned him multiple times. There were multiple legal defense you could see in GoFundMe. They kept canceling them. So at least they stuck true to that. You know, at least they stuck true to it. But they went to Give Send Go and, you know, nearly $200,000. This is crazy. Here it says, defenders of 17-year-old student accused of the crime. Carmelo remains in county jail while seeking to reduce the cost. This is the official support fund for Carmelo and his family to get rich, of course, in this difficult time. The narrative that's being spread is false. I don't think it is. I mean, I think anybody that's donating to this is just fantasizing about taking the life of white people. I don't really understand. This is...
Let me hear that again.
Anthony and his family to get rich, of course, in this difficult time. The narrative that's being spread is false. I don't think it is. I mean, I think anybody that's donating to this is just fantasizing about taking the life of white people. I don't.
Let me watch and hear you say that one more time.
Orphan for Carmelo and his family to get rich, of course, in this difficult time. The narrative that's being spread is false. I don't think it is. I mean, I think anybody that's donating to this is just fantasizing about taking the life of white people. I don't really understand.
So let's go by it one by one. The family's using this to get rich, even though we all should know that there is no cheap lawyer. The only way you probably get a free one is if you get arrested and they tell you that if you don't have an attorney or a lawyer, one will be provided for you. Lawyers cost a lot of fucking money. The after fees of dealing with court cost a lot of fucking money. But the family's using it to get rich. Then you read a piece of the article, like all the rumors are not true. All the false narratives are just that, false. And then you come up with your own that anyone who donates to this Give, Send, Go with the presumption that they're helping somebody get home and fight a court case and prove in court with one of the best lawyers or the best lawyer that they could get with that money, that they don't actually care. They just gave their money because they have the fantasy of killing white people. Y'all can't see it. My head is in my hand right now, and it's just... Oh, baby, what you wish it for? Maybe you should wish it more. Maybe the world is yours. Maybe whatever. What if you donated to Kyle's GoFundMe? I'm not gonna say yes or no. It's not completely impossible. So you're going to sit here and half-ass co-sign that anybody, which is everybody, who has donated to this fucking GoFundMe wants to, what did you say, quartering?
I don't think it is. I mean, I think anybody that's donating to this is just fantasizing about taking the life of white people. I don't...
Fantasizing about taking the life of white people. That's a bold generalization. I will not lie to you. That's one of the boldest generalizations. Not all, of course. Well, it's a damn shame that Buddy said anybody. $200,000? That's a lot of anybody's. That's a fuck ton of anybody's.
I don't really understand. What do they need money for? There's literally no...
What do they need money for? The fucking defense attorney, you asswipe. Look, I don't know how this gonna go. I don't know how this is gonna go. Lord Passion, you can't get him out of this. I'm just letting you know that right now. I'm letting you know that right now. You can't get him out of this. He said anybody. He didn't say some. He didn't even say good portion. The motherfucker said anybody. You can't get him out of it. I beg you to stop trying. You just make him look worse. What did Rittenhouse need him with? Fuck. I guess to go to conventions and talk about guns. I guess.
No defense for this. Metcalf, you see, I pushed my hand on there. His brother's chest. I'm not going to go through that. But there's also this. Some really weird stuff coming out. Bizarre. Here's a jaw-dropping conspiracy theory that sweeps the internet after Texas boy passes away. Police have now been forced to deny that a teen who lost their life actually died from an OD. Like,
by that logic, anyone that donated to Kyle Rittenhouse just want, yeah. Anyone who donated, yeah, you wanted to kill a bunch of leftists. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, because this stupid logic has to be consistent, should it not?
So what they tried to do was do the George Floyd thing, where they were saying, oh, it's it was a fentanyl OD. He didn't really die from that. So the internet does what the internet does, and I'm not going to admonish the internet for making their jokes. But the Frisco Police Department is aware of an image circulating on social media purporting to be a report of the Collin Family Medical Examiner's office.
I have to unsub, Leon. You're black and I'm white. You might try to... Yeah, bro. Even though I didn't donate because I need to save my fucking money considering the price of every fucking thing going up. Yeah. Yeah.
Office. Police said in a statement on Friday, at this time the report has not even been released. Therefore, any information found online is false. It's just a vile smear. Like, they're smearing the victim here. Sheila Liston also denied fake viral posts claimed to be from him and claimed that Metcalf had lost his life during a mutual combat altercation or after he sucker punched Anthony. The hoax has also said Metcalf smashed Anthony's phone under one of the bleachers. Beware that those taking to social media to deliberately spread misinformation, hate, fear, and division. This is crazy. Like, people are going out and actually smearing this.
Just because the kid was mad, my son is not hearing.
Why are you playing a clip that you've already seen? You asshat. You asshat. You asshat. You maniacal asshat.
It's interesting that this woman isn't asking for money.
For your family? He was unresponsive for 5 minutes. They were able to revive him a little, but I think it was too little too late. What can the community do?
Well, you can't really, it's interesting that this woman isn't asking for money.
For your family? They need to support the kids at the school. Austin was loved by so many people. They need to know that there's other people out there for them and not against them, And Frisco Memorial has got a football program it's in a process, and we want everybody to know that it's a family and they're there together. So
interesting that she isn't asking for money.
Does anyone else want to say it before I say it? Like, just like anybody watching, could any of you say it before I say it? Because for some reason we have contention in here between any and everybody, because everyone thinks like that's like a nice get out of jail free card. But since I don't want to look at my screen, her son's dead. They're not the ones who need a lawyer. Now, it's wonderful that people decided to make a GoFundMe for them for funeral cost. That's wonderful. That's actually no joke, no sarcasm, wonderful. Like hell the fuck oh. GoFundMe took down Carmelo's. This new one is on Give, Send, Go. And I'm assuming all the fake ones on GoFundMe will be taken down at some point. Which Give, Send, Go said, we're not taking this down. Which is good, because they didn't take down Kyle Rittenhouse's when Kyle Rittenhouse went to Give, Send, Go. So it should be perfectly fine.
Frisco police are launching an investigation after social media started spreading fake details about the lost life of Austin Metcalf. Multiple anonymous accounts were launched on social media in an effort to justify the taking of his life. According to Frisco PD, a fake report to the Set the Record Straight about this is bonkers. There's also people are talking about it's so sad. It's so sad. 200. The attacker now raises $165,000, and they're smearing the victim.
Mm-hmm. And the more you talk about it, the more people find out and they donate. As a fuck you to you. Why are you showing this? How are you saying they're smearing the victim? Then you show me smearing the perpetrator. Yes, but the Rittenhouse case is different. I need you to understand how much of the fuck I cannot give you in that scenario, because for one reason and one reason only, they went to Give Send Go to get funds for their legal defense, for their legal help. Whether if you agreed with Kyle Rittenhouse or not, he was still going to need help. And lawyers are not cheap. Carmelo, whether you agree with him or not, is going to need help. And lawyers are not cheap. You can whine, bitch, groan, plus moan, but that won't matter. Carmelo needs money, and lawyers aren't cheap. So what's the next excuse?
Now, again, there's this, he was a 4.0 student. 9th grade 1.3, 10th grade 1.1, 11th grade 1.3.
And where did niggas get this from?
There's no evidence of that. There's no evidence of that. But this is, this is bonkers. I'm going to stay reporting on this because, it's exposing a lot in terms of the mainstream media and their bias in terms.
I bet you are, buddy. I think Give Send Go keeping it up is good, and I agree. I hope they don't try to dox the jury this time. Oh, I hope not. Just let people go through the court process the way it's supposed to. Anything extra is just a further indication of the embarrassment of the American people that the American people tend to fucking do. Ay, 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 ay. True, but I don't understand why he needed to bring a weapon to a sport event where he wasn't a part of. So you goalpost move because you could not accurately debunk the statement I made. And to answer your comment now, that's something you're going to have to wait for court to decipher. Here's the thing, to all of you, I do not care what your opinions are on this. I don't care if you are in support of Carmelo. I don't care if you want him thrown in jail for the rest of his life, the death penalty, any of this. You're going to have to wait for court. You're going to have to wait. It's going to be a while. And I know waiting and pretending like you're going to die tonight is like some great thing for a lot of you. But you're gonna have to wait. And in time, you will get your conclusion. You may not like it. You may hate it. It may not be what you want. Or it may be what you want. But time indeed will fucking tell. And when it does, I'll be there to see the mundane fucking reactions of people who will fucking forget about this shit in 2 months because the next carrot will be dangled in front of their face so easily and without effort. And with that being said, I am done here. Goodbye.